What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, alongside my hetero life mate, Daemon Hatfield.
Hello.
Damon, we got some crushing news this year, I guess.
My heart, Greg.
You can't take it. No, Paranormal Activity 5,
Yeah.
the real successor, not this Latino spin-off, Paranormal Activity 5, not coming this year.
Greg and I have a standing date. Every year, we go to see the latest Paranormal
We
Activity
have
together.
And why do we do that, aside from our love for each other, Damon?
Well, we love horror
We
movies.
love horror movies. Damon, we're here today to talk about, what do you think makes a good horror movie?
You know, that's a kind of a
It's
heavy
big. It's
question.
a big one.
We also, you have to acknowledge that horror movie genre is pretty broad.
Right.
Right? There's all different types of horror movies. Some of them I find scary,
Right.
and some of them are not scary at all. I just think they're fun.
Sure,
you know, like
sure,
I grew
sure,
up
sure.
when I was a kid. The first scary movie I can remember is The Thing,
that's a
which
good
still
one.
to this date is my favorite horror movie. And then as I grew up, I was kind of obsessed with horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But those movies never scared me.
Yeah.
I loved I loved the characters. I loved the gore. I loved the inventive murders that happened.
How's Freddy gonna kill this guy?
I
How's
sound
Jason
like
gonna kill that
I sound
guy?
like a messed up kid, but
No, you were. You were in Kansas. I'm sure it was just terrible, terrible.
so I just horror movies don't need to be scary, I don't think, right? Planet Terror by Robert Rodriguez,
Right.
recent horror movie. I think that movie's so fun. I love it, but it's not scary. Right?
Sure. For me, getting scared by the horror movie, right, is a big part of it. Like you're talking about, Friday the 13th, obviously all the Freddy movies. I loved those. Watched them with all my friends at sleepovers. But Amityville Horror, I remember watching in Mike Boylan's basement, and I couldn't sleep that night. That terrified me. And I think that's why right now I love the Paranormal Activities movies so much. Even though the last few have been garbage, just complete terrible movies. But number one was so good, right? Number one was so good.
I liked 1 and 2.
Yeah, number
1
two
and
was
2 are
good,
fun.
yeah.
One, as we've talked about before, that's the only movie in recent memory. I'm an adult, but when I got home that night, I slept with the lights on.
Right, because it was so good. And I thought a big part of that for me was practical effects, right? Katie's hair blowing, the fact that covers coming down. No, don't get me wrong, I know there's CG in this and stuff, but it's believable and realistic. Whereas when you get to where it's all CG and you're fighting crazy ass monsters, I'm like, eh.
I wonder if it has to do with whether or not you could imagine this happening to you.
Sure, that's a big part of it.
Something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or whatever, like Friday the 13th. I'm never going to be out in the woods.
You're never just going to be driving with your friends in a jalopy and need some gas?
That's not going to happen. But I'm not like a superstitious person, but I get home at night and it's just me in my apartment by myself, and then I hear something in the other room and it's is it happening to me now? This could be happening to me. The demon could be here.
Yeah, oh man, you never know what your grandfather sold your soul to or whatever.
That's why I got to keep Jackie Brown around. She's gonna tip me off.
Yeah.
If there's a demon in my house, Jackie Brown's gonna let me know.
Your little black cat he has. She's adorable. We just love her to death. So where do you come down on these torture porn movies and stuff? The Saws were going hard for a long time.
And then this year we got Evil Dead. Maybe I think that's a gore porn movie.
Yeah.
The gore is the star of that movie.
Sure.
And I enjoyed it. I put that in the camp of just the fun, entertaining horror movies. Like I said, I like horror movies for a couple different reasons. Because I get that jolt of being scared, or just because I just like the violence is fun for me. The fake violence is fun.
To end this thread, here's the one thing I can't stand in horror movies: when bad things start happening to really good people. And I'll tell you, and this is a movie you love that I liked and I enjoyed. Whatever, Drag Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell is a great movie, but I'm like, all she did was deny the bank loan. She just wanted to move up in her company.
If all the bad things happen to bad people in horror movies, then there wouldn't be any sort of.
I know.
You'd just be
I guess
yep,
I guess
got what he deserves.
Like the Paranormal Activity people, they're good people. Katie and Micah, they were good people.
Yeah, Katie's
They
kind of
deserve it.
naggy. She's kind of naggy, your girlfriend. But
I
I know.
heard all girlfriends. I'm kidding. Oh God, I'm so sorry. But Drag Me to Hell in particular.
I feel like that's part of the thrill of it. Is no,
not her.
It's like spoilers. Look, it's Game of Thrones, Reigns of Castamere. It's like no, not them.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is not a horror show, but still.
No, it's in the same vein. As long as they keep making more Friday the 13th movies and they keep putting Aaron Yu in it, I'll be happy.
I want to make a Friday the 13th movie.
Do you?
Yeah,
I
have a vision in mind. I want to remake Friday the 13th and set it in the 80s. Hollywood, talk to me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in Hollywood, hit up @Dame0 on Twitter. If you're a horror movie fan, let us know why in the comments, and then keep checking IGN for everything cool.